To bolster my theory, did you know many American metropolitan cities have already signed a treaty with the UN to supervise the police under the guise of terrorism? According to the New York Post, under New York joins terror-busting network, Strong Cities, September 30th, 2015. Quote, New York City is joining a new global terror-busting network to try to combat homegrown extremism, a move that immediately raised concerns among civil liberty advocates who fear it will unfairly target Muslims. Stop! Wait a minute. America has a homegrown terrorist network so proficient, we need the UN help? To bust something can only mean there is something to bust, right? Now are you seeing the reasons for the speech to rebel? Let's continue, please. Mayor de Blasio on Tuesday announced the city's involvement in the program, the first of its kind, at the United Nations, along with the U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Personal quote, the Strong Cities Network will serve as a vital tool to strengthen capacity building and improve collaboration. As we continue to counter a range of domestic and global terror threats, this innovative platform will enable cities to learn from one another, to develop best practices, and to build social cohesion and community resilience here at home and around the world, said Attorney General Loretta Lynch. The Strong Cities Network, which launches September 29th at the United Nations, get this cold talk, people, will empower municipal bodies, the UN, to fill this gap while working with civil society and safeguarding the rights of local citizens and communities. Stop. I told you. To, quote, work with civil society can only mean they are not a part of civil society. So as you can see, this cat's speech goes hand in hand with the treaty already signed. He was simply giving the psych op army their marching orders. New York, Atlanta, Denver, and Minneapolis are all members with more cities to follow. But that's not my real problem with this section. Quote, we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country is where I have the problem. What Israelite worth their salt believe this bullshit? How do you sing praises in a strange land? Equal rights and Yah-sanctioned punishment bondage, huh? Justice among the worst of the heathen, huh? Question, Israel. Is America your country? I don't know about you guys, but my Septuagint says Yah put us within the borders of our enemies, not take ownership of our enemies' borders. Heck, even the ancients didn't go that damn far. This is a prime example of the unintended consequences of doing the exact same thing then as you are trying to do now. Settle for extended free range instead of freedom with Yah. Please understand something, people. Our parents have been programmed and they willingly gave you up to the programming. It's the same principle as MK Ultra. They trauma-based a program of violent protest equals a piece of cheese. But what we don't understand is the end result will always be poison Limburger. What I mean is, once you accept blood for cheese, meaning a perceived sacrifice, you feel obligated to honor, further, and mimic that perceived sacrifice to get that cheese. This is the reason why they blow the dust off of MLK and wind John Lewis up to say his patented, I almost died on that bridge that day, like clockwork. It's to reinforce their insane programming. You know, do the same thing but expect a different result. Once you are programmed, they already know your movements. You are no longer a wild card to them. May I ask you a question, gentle strangers? If you were an ultra villain, what would be the next logical move against the colors? For me, it would be to create, finance, and control the violent protests against me, of course. What ultra-villain wouldn't do that? Duh! And that's exactly what they did with Occupy Wall Street and this Black Lives Matter charade. Yet again, the blood of colors was spilling the streets just so another genre can truly benefit from the pain. In the 60s, the Israelis benefited the most. How? Because before the civil rights movement, they were barred from certain guilds, business markets, restaurants, nightclubs, country clubs, etc. Just like you. But by your blood sacrifice, they have achieved the American dream. Unlike you. The reason they own the Chitlin circuit is because the whites wouldn't allow them to own the swank. Please remember, moving pictures is a new concept. In fact, it was frowned upon by the whites. Why? Because even as far back as the Roman Empire, actors in theater was seen as an extremely low profession. Now, fast forward in insanity. Black Lives Matter isn't just about black lives at all. I listened to an interview with the co-founder about what the movement truly stands for. Well, it seems, and as she says, the Black Lives Matter movement is a movement that encompasses all lives, including and especially the gay, lesbian, trans, and feminist discrimination. But I would throw in another that is only talked about in the white community. Throw in gun control as well. Again, this is only from a tetragrammaton line's perspective. But wait! I am trying to vet an article, and I am finding it hard to believe. No, not hard to believe it can be true. I am hitting the scribe signal, people. I'm hitting the scribe signal. Please Google this for me and help me vet this story. Google hacked messages of hashtag Black Lives Matter leader reveal Obama administration's plan for summer of chaos and martial law. I wouldn't usually do this, but they appear mind you, to have screenshot conversations between Black Lives Matter and two other conspirators. I don't know if it's real or not, but damn. Again, hacked messages of hashtag Black Lives Matter leader reveal Obama administration plan for summer of chaos and martial law. Leave me your comments, please. Should I dig deeper or not? In the meantime, let's continue with the speech, shall we? I will skip a part I actually agree with, but we'll pick back up with a BAM! Quote, freedom is always coming in the hereafter. But you know what though? The hereafter is a hustle. We want it now. Let me read that again. Freedom is always coming in the hereafter. But you know what though? The hereafter is a hustle. We want it now. Stop. Israel. Even though Mr. Charlie has stolen, replaced, omitted, and changed not only the likeness of the characters, but the entire message itself, meaning this cat's discontent with the white man's version of freedom. This is still your history book. These scriptures are still your history book. And the hereafter, or the afterlife, as he puts it, is the foundation of your history book. This guy mocked you and my God's promises to the roar of applause. But that's not all. In the same breath, straight from a movie script, he looks directly into the camera with rebellion swelling like a flame within him, once again defies Yah's will with his own proclamation for punishment-busting freedom. But let's continue, shall we? Here comes another reason why I think this guy is an agent and was giving out marching orders. Perceptual context. Brothers and sisters, I choose my words very carefully, and maybe only 1,000 people may view my videos. Surely this cat knew 7 cable stations, and as I was rudely and most ignorantly told, it was all over every facet of social media. Saying that, he made sure every word was carefully placed, planned, timed, and approved by his handlers. No, he wasn't freestyling out there. Now, check out his next words in conjunction with my cold talk theory. Quote, let's get a couple of things straight. Just a little side note. The burden of the brutalized is not the comfort of the bystander. That's not our job, all right? Stop with all that. Listen up. If you have a critique for our resistance, then you better have established record of critique of our oppression. Stop. Bingo! What am I bingoing you under? Because this one phrase has just turned your nonviolent protest into a resistance. 2 totally different damn things, people. So yes, I can see the UN coming without a shadow of a doubt. Why? Because this asshole just catapulted my people in opposition not only to their creator, but also to the most wicked people on the face of the planet. The only time I ever heard the word resistance is in the movies. Why is this one word important? Well, aside from the obvious reasons, let me ask you a question. Doesn't Psychops ISIS, the national whatever for white people, truthers, militia, etc., use the exact same word? And I'm supposed to believe these spoken words and all hell breaking out right after is supposed to be a coincidence? FR, for real? You cats are being set up. And again, to a roaring crowd, standing ovation and undying praise from professed Israelites who say they have the spirit of Yah. Wow! He finishes his speech with the ultimate Jedi mind trick. He actually projected that black people's culture, meaning hip-hop, reality TV world, sports, and entertainment, is somehow, in some way, magic. And again, all this done to a standing room only crowd and adoring a Hotep Hebrew Christian YouTube elders. This has only been my 2 cents on the matter, Israel. I don't mean nothing by it. Thank you for looking at this video, and look for the next.